name is João Federici, and I am the World Cinema Programmer for the Mill Valley Film Festival. I'm here today to talking about the US premiere of Here We Are. I hope you enjoyed the film, and now stick around with me and our special guest for the Q&A. The story of Here We Are is grounded in Israel, but it has universal appeal, dealing with such issues as parenthood. This wise, gentle film charts how both characters learn to say goodbye without ever saying a word. Here with me to discuss the film is the Israeli writer and director Nir Bergman. Thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing your new film. It's such a sensitive and touching movie.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for taking the film to your program and to your festival. I'm happy to be with you.
Let's talking about your films, your life. You are in Tel Aviv, you told us now, no?
Yes, we live in Tel Aviv. Yes, I'm great. This is my home here. I grew up in Haifa, but for the last, I guess, 30 years, I'm here in Tel Aviv. Yeah.
That's great. And
this is my house. Behind me is my house, and my son's kid is over there.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. I hope you don't disturb him then.
I hope he doesn't disturb us. He's a teenager, you know.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I know that you normally write your scripts and direct them. How it's collaborating with dramatizes, who wrote this both delicate and also powerful script?
Well, you're right. It's the first time that I'm working with a screenplay writer for a feature film. I did work when I did television. I did work with different screenwriters, but this is the first time that I'm doing a film with the film that I didn't write. So the experience was absolutely amazing for me. Because, you know, dramatizes is telling a very personal story for her. The beginning for the story for her was a question, what will happen when my father and my autistic brother will have to separate? This was the question that led the writing. And well, I've been the screenplay editor, and well, Dana worked for years on the screenplay. You know, it takes time to build the budget for a film in Israel. I don't know, I guess it's hard everywhere around the world. But this time is good also for the screenplay to grow up. Hopefully, you know, you catch it on time and you go for shooting before it's, you know, passé, you know, the screenplay has to still be like, how to say, like very, like a womb, you know, it has to have a baby inside. And so the screenplay was written so beautifully, so gently, and I really wanted to not to ruin it when I work on it, just to add to it what I can do. And it was a very special experience for me, also understanding, because when you write and direct your film, as a director, sometimes you have to tell the screenwriter enough, you know? You cannot keep on working on this, you cannot keep on working on the scene, you're starting to ruin, don't give this up, you know? And sometimes also when you write, you imagine the characters, the cast, and then when you direct, you have to choose, because it's never exactly as you wrote it, as you imagined it, you know. When I wrote my first feature film, which was also a very personal story, it was, of course, an Israeli story about a family. It's called Broken Wings. And I imagined someone like Susan Sarandon for the role, you know.
Yeah.
But there was no Israeli Susan Sarandon around. So I have to do what a director has to do, and that is to choose the actors. So I think the whole relationship with this great writer, Dana Idisis, also wrote the television series that has to do with people that it's called On the Spectrum, which is going to be adapted or remaked by Amazon. So this material is very familiar to her from her family, and of course she's very talented at her writing as well as knowing what she's writing about. And for me, you know, it was like a present. The screenplay was a present, and of course I had to put my fingertip on it as well with the directing. Yeah.
I know that you were talking about the TV and also how personal was for Dana to write this one, because I remember 2010, I think it's 2010, he had the turning 15, a doc, and that bring me to really curiosity about this one now, no? The Here We Are.
You're talking about a documentary?
Yeah, she did, no?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
About her brother when he became 13.
13 and Shabbat. Yeah.
And doing his bar mitzvah. Yeah.
Bar mitzvah. Yeah. That's it. It's really interesting. I know you mentioned TV, and I know that in your, I think it's your last show, Just for Today, is a series. The tone is very, very realistic, and I know that you did a lot of research, a large scale of research for that. How was your preparation for Here We Are?
Well, you got to go through a lot of research as well, because it's not enough to understand. It's not enough to understand, you know, what is autism. You have to understand specifically who is the character that you are building for this film. Who is Uri, the hero? And so we went through a lot of places, special places for people with special needs. I mean, when I say we, I mean myself and Noam, the cast for Uri, the boy. Noam came with a lot of knowledge that he had from home, because his father was a manager of a place for autistic children, and so Noam grew up with autistic kids around him. Eventually, what happened is that when we were touring, when we were location touring in Eilat, suddenly I saw the film in front of my eyes. There was a single mom with her son. He was a teenage, and he looked completely normal. And then he started to do things, and I looked at him and I understood the whole story. And you know, the manager, the production managers said, "Come on, let's go." We were in Eilat, you know, it's the south of Israel. You got to finish locations and go back home. 4 hours drive back to Tel Aviv. We had to go back, and I couldn't go. I was just looking at these, and I really saw the story of two people lost in Eilat. And finally, I asked. I couldn't go myself. I was, I don't know, maybe too embarrassed, and I asked for the art director. Maybe she could approach them, because she was with me watching them. understanding that the story is happening in front of her eyes, and she reached for them, and they became like the inspiration for Uri. We met them again and again. We became closer. Noam and me came there again and again, and the mother corresponded very strongly, and she could relate to the screenplay very strong. And of course, she knew the dramatizes theory about the people that is called On the Spectrum. So she was really she wanted to help, and we are still in touch with the boy, and they're going to come to see the film. And he was born one day after me, August 9, and we're still connected. And he sends paintings that he does. He wants to be a soldier. And so this was really like a very, very like an inspiration for the building the character. And of course, we had the screenplay in front of our eyes. So this combination, this was the key for us.
Great.
We wanted all the time to have a character that you could see, you could feel who would he be if he was not autistic. If this wouldn't happen, he could have been, who would he be? We wanted to feel that all the time. Yeah.
I can imagine it was the big challenge, for you also to how you casting an actor to play someone with autism. How was this process? Because, Noam Imber are incredible, believable. And how was your process? And how was first, could you tell me how was the process to casting the main actor, Uri?
It's really hard because it's really scary. You don't want to fall. You don't want to. Of course, we wanted someone who's not known because we didn't want to have like a very famous Israeli cast that then the Israeli audience would say, "Oh, wow, this and this was so amazing." We wanted someone that you could really like just lean back and even ask yourself while you see the film, is he an actor, or did they choose someone who's on the spectrum that could act? So we really wanted this feeling, and I think Noam did this. And it's very hard because when you audition to such a role, then the actors, they need to come with some result already to the audition. They need to show that they can perform such a role because it's such a hard role. And Noam was there from the first audition. He was very strongly there, He was maybe a little bit doing all the techniques that makes you be, and not enough yet a person, which is what we want. But then from audition to audition, we did he had to go I guess to 3 auditions at least. And from audition to audition, we saw that that he could really be there. But I have to tell you that only after doing the research and after building the character, the character was there. It takes time. You need time to build. You cannot really be prepared for such an audition with the whole thing. You have to imagine. Mm-hmm. But you could see that you could fall in love with him, which was the most important thing,
Yeah, he is totally incredible. I think both Noam Imber and Shai Avivi delivered an incredible performance as father and son.
Thank you.
And that's bring my next question. That how do you prepare the casting? casting? Do you have some method that helps you get such believable characters? Because they are there, all body. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shai Avivi, I'm even more proud about his work than with Noam, because Shai is a very known actor in Israel.
I know.
He's really known. He's really big, but then again, he's able in this part to bring something totally new, and to be there totally, to give himself totally to the part. This is also comes with the screenplay, which makes an actor want to be this character. So the best way to bring out good cast is to make casting mistakes in the past. This is experience, because when you make casting mistakes, you understand that the whole thing about directing is cast. This is directing for me. It's the cast, and I made some mistakes in the past, and that made me more picky and trying to really. I also teach in my school that I used to study in the Sam Spiegel Film School in Jerusalem. I also teach there, and I tell my students that if you bring sour milk, you cannot make a pasta with cream. It will not. You can put ketchup, you can put tomatoes, whatever you put, it will not be the taste that you want. So for me, casting is really everything. I try to give this the time it needs, and I try to wait before I decide. I really try to give this time. The casting for this film took, I guess, like 5-6 months or something like this, which is a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need time.
Yeah. That's I take that, and because you're talking about to learn from your mistakes. And your first feature, as you said, by the way, your Susan Sarandon is amazing. She's amazing. Please.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll tell her you said so.
That's true. Yeah. And your first feature, Broken Wings, had tremendous success. Awards in Berlin, around the world. It was 2002. And then the next one that I love too is Intimate Grammar. Is considered a masterpiece. How do you, taking your answer before, how do you think you've grown as a filmmaker since then?
Really, Broken Wings was, as you say, really a huge success for a young director. It was my first thing after finishing school. Film school. And it was my personal story. Of course, your life doesn't give you a screenplay. It gives you materials. It was from personal materials. And then after that, I didn't write another film which is not based on a book or a biopic. Because maybe it was a little bit too much, and I had to take some distance. And I guess it's really hard for me to answer. My two last films were not a big success, not in festivals or audience, and I was trying to, in some way, break the normal structure of films, trying to look for different ways of telling my themes and my stories. They were all in a way personal for me, but structurally and formatting new experiences didn't really work for me that well. So it was really good to go back to a normal screenplay. I mean, not a normal, because it's also special. Dana's screenplay is very special, but in a way, it's a story for a film, made for a film. And I talked to Dana just a few days ago, and I told her, you brought me back the love of filmmaking, and thank you for this, because I think I lost it in a way a little bit after my last film. Although I like it very much, it's not that. It's just that there is something so unique about filmmaking, and I forgot it a little bit. Right now, when we have all this coronavirus horrible thing, yeah? I wanted to say, something bad, but I won't. So suddenly, I feel this even stronger, how much I love filmmaking and how much I love audience and how much I miss audience. We are going now through the Israeli Academy Award screenings, and of course, it's almost everything is on the net, and we have like these small screening for 20 people from time to time. And I wrote a few mails to people, listen, come and see my film, people that I like and know, and I feel free to tell them, because I'm feeling pain in my body for not having audience to this film. I want audience. I want to hear them. I want to feel them. I want to hear them laugh, and I want to hear them wipe their nose, And so this film is actually really, for me, something very, very important, in my career in a way, because right now I just want to make more films. Of course, I'll have to make more television, because you cannot provide your family from filmmaking in Israel. Or I don't know where you can, but I really want to make another one fast,
Yeah, that's what I'd like to ask you, because I know that you work a lot with in TV now, and also writing and directing and films. How do they compare, and how do you have a favorite? I know now that in your answer seems like you want to make movies, and but how do you compare this to TV and film?
Yeah, well, I love film. I love television making also, I really like it's much harder, of course, because you need to work much faster. But I always try to have, how do you say, filmmaking style also when I make television, and I mean, the directing should be for me like film, like you're seeing a film almost, yeah. And of course, the world is going towards television. Everybody knows that. Everybody feels that, and personally, I watch a lot of television myself. Also, a lot of TV series. It's been changed so much in the last 20 years, and of course we all watch a lot of television and less films. And I don't know, maybe my next film will be a total failure and I will fall in love with television again. And I have a romance with both, and I love them both. And of course, there is something about filmmaking that is totally unique, because you do work for the big screen, and your mistakes are judged on a big scale. Yeah. And when everything works, it works for the for the big screen, and it's like a piece, because when you do a TV series, usually you'll have one chapter that is a little bit cracked, or let's have, the budget is killing us. Let's have this chapter with only 2 characters, and you always have you always have these compromising that you do, and yeah, I really enjoy them both, I have to admit. But filmmaking, well, there's nothing like filmmaking. Yeah.
Our time is almost done here, and I have the last question for you, but it's not a question. It's I'd like to know if you have some new project that you'd like to share with us.
Well, because you never know when will the budget come for what you're doing. I use a lot of tools. Okay, so I have a TV thing that I'm developing, and I have a feature that I wrote while Corona was happening, the first wave. Now the second wave, I can do the second draft. Each wave will be a draft. It's actually the film is actually an American speaking film for the first time. It's based on a novel by Michael Greenberg, New York great writer who I'm with contact with for a few years now. And so we have a draft for the first time from his book Hurry Down Sunshine. And it's going to be based in Jerusalem. It's about an American writer who went through something devastating in his life in America, in New York, and he moved to Jerusalem. And we want to cast Edward Norton. If you can pass the message, please do.
Yeah, I will.
Please pass it. He was born 10 days after me in 1969, and I think I think he's cream. He's the cream for our pasta. And this is a project that I'm right now working on, and well, there's a few more little poles trying to catch a big fish somewhere. We'll see what we catch.
Yeah, Edward was with us last year.
Oh, really?
Yes, because unfortunately, we can have you here. We are having you here this year. But we'd love to have you all again together, gathering here and celebrating our festival.
Absolutely.
I want to thank you again so much for chatting with us today. It was a big pleasure, Nir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Joe. Thank you for having us, and thank you for having our film in your program. This is great for us. Absolutely. And I hope the audience enjoyed it. I wish I could hear them.
Yeah. Next time.
Next time. Yeah. Thank you very much.